Warning: the Dub Talk podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Also, please be aware there will be spoilers for Kase-san and Morning Glories, as well as the manga. Use caution in case there is a series you probably haven't finished yet. Finally, the opinions expressed belong to those of the individual participants, and they do not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Also, be aware that there will be lots of squeeing from myself, because I am very much gay and a girl, and
Hello, one and all, and welcome to Dub Talk, the show where we let our feelings about anime and English dubs bloom into you, adorable little listener. Winter is fading, and soon the smell of citrus shall return to us once again. The Sakura blossoms shall trick you once more into gazing at their beauty. The strawberries shall ripen as you panic to pick the right one for your nearest and dearest, your cutiest honey, and try to solve their riddle story of devil at risk of not being pelted with their Yuri Kuma Arashi? Wait. Kono Hanakitan? Valkyrie?
That was good until the end.
Okay, I give up. Lesbians!
New
lesbians.
game.
We're here
New game.
to talk about lesbians. That's what we're here. Specifically, talking about Shoujo Ai, also known as Yuri anime. But more specifically, a particular one. A story I'm very fond of, both of the manga adaptation and of the anime OVA movie. Courtesy of Sentai Filmworks, director Takuya Sato, original mangaka Hiromi Takashima, and Studio Zex. We're going to be talking about the English dub for Kase-san and Morning Glories. Joining me to talk about this lovely little anime are two equally as lovely ladies from Dub Talk. Gigi.
Hello, friends.
And Zenith.
Hey everybody, I'm Zenith Warrior Princess, and this was just so damn gay and cute, and I loved it, and it was... Yeah, I loved it.
Those were like a lot of hoarse, whinny noises you were just making there.
It's like called a squee.
It's like
squee.
that Twitter feed that Chris shows me all the time, Inhuman Noises for Anime Girls.
Oh, the Inhuman anime noises thing.
It is.
I love that. It's so funny.
Ryamu. That's the end. That's all we need out of life.
It's
Ryamu.
called a squee, and it was what I was saying during the entire thing because they're just so adorable and disaster gay, and I love it.
Oh boy, are they ever. So, I actually have a lot of attachment to this one in particular, but first and foremost, a thing to mention about tonight's episode. This was a patron pick.
Ooh.
This was a Patreon requested episode by our lovely Patreon and friend to the podcast, Jacob Wilson.
Aw, yeah, my boy.
Thank you very much for requesting this one, Jacob. This is admittedly one I've been wanting to talk about in some form, but wasn't sure when I was going to find the time or right opportunity to do so. But the time is here, and the time is now. So let's talk about what Kase-san and Morning Glories is, and let's first start with a synopsis, courtesy of the back of the Blu-ray.
Courtesy of the back of the box.
Currently of the back of the box, yes.
Sorry. I just made a pun in my head and it was really bad.
Oh, come on, Gigi. You're in front of the class now. You might as well share with the rest.
Courtesy of the back of the booty.
The box.
The booty.
Whoop, whoop, pull up that ass too fat. Whoop, whoop, pull up that ass too fat.
I'm going home.
before you go home, let's hear what the show is about, because this is going to be a fun time. For everything, there is a season. A relationship is like a garden. It's hard, really hard, to plant the initial seeds. Once you've gone through the agonizing process of wondering if the other person even likes you, fought the fear that telling her could destroy everything, and made your confession, the most difficult part begins. Because you have to keep nurturing this wonderful new feeling to keep it growing, not just in your own heart, but in hers. And since even the most beautiful rose can cut you to the bone with its thorns, who can you talk to for advice? Especially when you're both girls in high school. For shy Yamada and boyish Kase, time is running out. High school is coming to an end, and they must make a choice. Stay together and let their love grow, or separate and let it die in Kase-san and Morning Glories. That's a really good summary. Holy shit.
That summary just summarized the first 2 minutes of the anime and the last 2 minutes of the anime.
It's like, it is adorable, it is touching, it is nurturing, it is dramatic. It's, oh my god, it's great.
What happened to the middle?
The other thing to note is that this is an anime that I kept seeing gifs of on Twitter, like with her in the cell phone and like a Giddy on the bed, and I'm like, that's me, without ever seeing the anime. And I was watching, and I'm like, that is still me.
So, I'd like to actually go into a little bit of what Kase-san is, because it has kind of an interesting history, especially when it comes to the anime production too, believe it or not. Kase-san is a manga series that originally started in August of 2010, kind of stopped for a little while, and the main series of it kind of finished in 2017. There's only about 5 volumes of it in particular, but all of them are kind of like... Kase-san as a series is kind of a bunch of It's kind of a chronological story, but a lot of the chapters are very slice of life, self-contained. Sometimes they go back in time a little, back to before they're dating. Sometimes it's after they're dating. The anime production is kind of interesting in and of itself, because believe it or not, it actually started out as like... I believe it was the brainchild of a director who really, really wanted to do it, and found a couple of passionate people who really wanted to get together to make it, which would be the character designer and a couple other people who actually got together to make a music video. Because the original anime for Kase-san was like a 3 to 5 minute music video that actually you see a little bit of in the OVA. It's basically the music video goes into the manga content and story of before they officially get together, and I think ends with them officially like hooking up and having their first kiss in the nurse's bed. You see a little bit of that play out at the very beginning of this OVA, but that music video was extremely popular not only in Japan but overseas, and they managed to successfully get a OVA feature film. I say OVA feature film because it is kind of a movie, but lengthwise it is more of like a OVA, and I think it was played in theaters.
Mm. I mean, it's an hour long. It's long enough, but you know, you can definitely see it being broken down into like 2 parts. Even still, like, I love this. I love every single bit of it, and it's so cute that it made me melt. And I'm one of those who usually doesn't like, you know, slice of life type stuff, but the way they present it here, the way everything is brought together is just wonderful. Especially because a lot is told without dialogue.
Yeah, the thing about this particular anime is that it is very much like, you could tell like there is more story to be told, but the story they were able to tell, and you could just feel it. You could feel the people that are working on this particular production. They are giving it all their love, care, and passion. And in that entire hour of anime, you really get to see it shine in some really fantastic visual imagery, shot composition, choreography. It is just a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
One I, honest to God, thought was never going to be brought over here proper, because back in the year 2018, a a little-known company called Pony Canyon USA was a thing.
Shocked. I was shocked when I saw that at the beginning. I was like, are you joking?
Yeah, there was a time where Pony Canyon USA was licensing anime in the USA. The USSR, this show would not fly in the USSR by any goddamn means. I think Putin would have a stroke.
Stop!
Anyways.
It is too gay for me, why?
Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. Basically, I legitimately thought this was never going to be brought over, so at Anime NYC of 2018, Pony Canyon had a screening at their panel in Japanese that I got to watch, and that's how I thought I was only ever going to consume it, was through that screening at a convention. Given like a year later, one of the secret announcements at a Sentai Filmworks industry panel, they announced, oh hey, we just licensed the Kase-san and Morning Glories OVA, and we're gonna give it an English fucking dub. And I was literally at my nephew's place that day, and I'm just playing with my nephews. I look at my phone, I'm like, I got 5 notifications. I'm like, why did I get so many notifications? And then I saw it was the Kase-san announcement. I'm like, oh my fucking god! Holy shit!
I have only one thing to say. Thank you very much. I want to own this. I don't own it, but now I do. I just saw this for the first time today, and it's squeaking so goddamn hard. It's
legitimately, you should buy this, because at most, you will find this Blu-ray for like $20. At most. Like, Sentai has a lot of good sales. If you need a good cart topper and something that's really good quality and relatively cheap, this is probably going to be under $20 if you end up buying it. It is absolutely it's worth at least $30 to $35 to me. That's a goddamn steal.
not only that, but it has, like, I don't know if we're ever going to get a season 2 of Bloom Into You. I really hope we do. But this has a much more definitive conclusion and shows things happening. I think Bloom Into You is better in terms of the characters have a bit more flaws. But if you're looking for something cute and wonderful that actually wraps things up very wonderfully, get this.
Alright. Anyways, I will say the interesting thing about this OVA is that it is several chapters throughout a couple of different volumes, kind of all put together into one full package. And as a package, it's pretty interesting, and I would like to talk about it. But now that I've gushed over my personal history with Kase-san as a manga, as my experience with fearing that we would never get the anime, and now I can sing the praises of the English dub from Sentai Filmworks. And who better to start with when it comes to English dubs than the ADR Director and Scriptwriter for this anime. So, I'd ask if we had any predictions, but I feel like as soon as I saw this was going to get announced for a dub at Sentai Filmworks, I had only one person in mind.
There's only one person it should ever be.
I think there's a couple other people, but at least when it comes to Sentai Filmworks, you got one guy. That guy, as far as our director, is David Wald. As for his partner in crime, when it comes to script writing, we have the lovely Marissa Lenti to back him up.
Yay, my favorite duo.
As a duo, both David and Marissa have directed and written such shows as Bloom Into You, Tada Never Falls in Love, and Love Stage.
Yay.
David Wald has that is what they've worked on together. David Wald has also directed such things as Cutie Honey Universe and Hitorijime My Hero. And Marissa Lenti has also written on other projects like Armed Girls Machiavellism and This Boy Suffers from Crystallization. Which, if I recall correctly, I think David Wald actually stars in that one.
No, he is in the other one. This Boy is a Professional Wizard, and he's one of the side guys.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. This
These
Boy Suffers from
titles are
Crystallization
starting to get a little bit weird.
Is Rai McKeon and Damon.
Oh, okay. I could have. I knew he was in one of them. I thought it was Crystallization.
Nope, he's in the other
okay.
one. Dub Talk coming soon.
I'm just saying, but these titles are starting to get a little bit weird.
Oh, which one in particular? Because you haven't even heard some of the really long isekai names. Those are the real
isekai.
bad ones.
Isekais are weird, and I love some of them, but shorten your titles. God damn it.
The This Boy series is a series that's currently ongoing in Japan. There's, I believe, four OVAs and a radio drama. But anyway, that's for another episode. Let's talk about girls.
That's for another time.
Oh my gosh, I never thought I'd say that.
Girls.
So, Gigi, since I am amazed to hear you say the words, let's talk about girls, I would like you to start us off.
Of course, my darling. Well.
Oh, thank you very much, madam. Pleasure.
So, Kase-san really is such a pure and wholesome love story, especially compared to other titles that are kind of in the LGBTQ plus umbrella. A lot of them have excessive fan service or problematic themes. We see them in, I want to generalize, a good 80% of the anime that's Yuri or Yaoi or BL or Shonen Ai, however you want to call it. But here it's
like even ones that are popular favorites. There's a couple of things in there where it's like,
yeah, but there's nothing problematic about this. There's no excessive fan service. It's just pure and wholesome and a freaking sugar-coated treasure. So when I heard David Wald was slated to direct this, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like Love Stage Part 2, the other side, because he's going to put all the love and care in the world in it, because this is his jam. The casting in this was perfect. The tone of the dub felt light, and I know that's a whole theme of the anime, like everything. I think I read in one of the articles it was called like Only Light or something to do with light, although like towards the end there's like a slightly darker problem that happens, but it's not like a dark problem. It's just like, oh, this is where the sad part comes in,
There's no NTR of any kind.
What does NTR mean?
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
NTR is netorare, which is cheating on your significant other.
Oh.
It's
Gigi, I'm actually blown away that you did not know what NTR was.
Well, I'm a very loyal girl. I don't cheat on anyone. I feel really bad that I'm cheating on Kamu right now with my actual boyfriend, but that's beside the point.
Well, thank you. You know what, Gigi? Look, we've thrown some shade at you. Thank you for being a very, very good girl who is not into NTR. All I'm going to say is there are some wonderful, fantastic doujin artists out there that you can immediately kill any and all interest for me when I see the title NTR. I see that NTR tag. It's like, nope.
All right.
Zenith says NTR is no good.
Well, that being said, this whole anime and the way the dub was directed, it's just a treasure. Especially in the moments where the characters have like little pieces of self-discovery, which I found really kind of touching, because I mean, like in practice and in like theory, this could have been a very hard subject to broach, but you don't see anything different about this story or these characters than if it were heterosexual romance. You don't see anything different about it, and that's what I love the most about it. Marissa's writing, like I just said, this is just a love story. There's no pretense, and that I love it so much because they don't differentiate it from any other story just because it's Yuri. They don't play they don't play lesbian jokes for laughs. Like, they don't turn it into some kind of like comedy or like looking down on anyone for whatever it is they do. They don't do that. Everything is played and written, I hate to say it, but straightforward. And it's only different because of the situations the characters get into. Like, one of them was changing in front of someone else.
I was going to say, yeah, it's like you have the discussion of like, you're both girls, so you can both enter like a bathhouse changing room and see each other naked.
Exactly. It's all situational. And I think it was all handled really well. There was only one line that actually brought up the fact that two girls were dating in the whole thing. And that was, she's the first person.
The very first line.
No, she's the first person I've ever gone out with. That's more important than the fact that we're both girls. And I think that line just transcends through the whole dub. Like, no one cares. I mean, not that no one cares, because everybody cares about these characters, but I mean, like, there's nothing different about them than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way that I look at all people. So it made me very happy to hear this theme like permeating through the whole script and through the whole direction. And it just made me very happy. It's sweet and pure and wonderful. It's my little treasure, and I love it.
All right, Zenny. Let me hear your thoughts about this one.
I just think this is pure and wholesome and wonderful, and I could not stop squeeing. And I think one thing that really nails down why I like this is because it gets relationships so well when they're talking on the phone and each one is blushing and awkward and not understanding how to do this because it's their first relationship, but they love each other. And the misunderstandings and like the little things just work so well to make this it's such a realistic romance. And like Gigi said, they don't really treat it like it's a lesbian romance. It's a thing that happens. When her friend finds out that she's in a romance, she doesn't really say anything. She's supportive. She's just like, oh, I thought so, it's okay. And like she tries to help them get together and stay together. There's never a point where anyone makes any jokes or the fact that they're in a lesbian relationship isn't brought into question. And I think just it's a pure form of love. I was rooting for them the entire time, and a big strength of the film is that I really got to know them as characters in such a short amount of time and wanted them to succeed. I think a lot of this is to do with the script writing and directing. I loved, like, I love Bloom Into You. Bloom Into You is one of my favorite anime and my favorite dubs, and they just did a perfect job here. I can't think of any other way to put it, because nothing I felt was out of place, nothing was distracting, nothing was bad, and I just kept squealing through the entire thing. It was wonderful.
Well said. I think the very interesting thing about this particular dub is that both David and Marissa have proven themselves to be an extremely reliable team when it comes to very different types of shows. Bloom Into You, Tada, Never Falls in Love, and Love Stage are all very similar, but very different in a lot of different ways. And they all convey kind of a genuinely wide spectrum of emotions when it comes to comedy, when it comes to gut-wrenching drama, when it comes to the laughs, when it comes to the romantic tension and the confessions and the intimate parts. You know the ones. Gigi, you've probably seen the Love Stage OVA.
Oh, have I ever seen the Love Stage OVA?
When it comes to the bed scenes, oh my god, I'm so glad, because that's my favorite part of Bloom Into You, and they actually had it in this OVA, and I was like,
I remember watching that scene in a convention crowd, and everybody was like, oh, this is getting spicy, I like this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck that one guy who was blocking the subtitles with his head, though. Fuck that one guy in particular.
I thought it was just wonderful. It was like, it was sexy, but in a way that was not like overt, and I loved it.
I hear you like biting your finger right now as you're talking about this. It's like, yeah, that's about right. But no, the thing I'm saying is that Marissa and David are an extremely reliable tag team when it comes to doing anime, when it comes to different sorts of emotions, comedy, drama, and romance. It's a very interesting, capable team. I think the script itself is a little more subdued in this one, where it doesn't... I wouldn't say there's a lot of lines that stand out, but I think when it comes to, like, the big emotional moments and the big, like, emotional confessions and trying to confess and convey how you're feeling, they do a really good, authentic job of making those lines work. As far as the direction, you're working with a core cast of 3 people. You have a couple other little extras here and there. You're working with 3 people, so you gotta make sure those 3 people are really good at what they bring to the table. And I think David Wald got a really good cast of people to bring to the table. He got them to be very vulnerable, very erotic at times, very goofy. Like you said, they're both disasters, where it's like, yeah, you assume Yamada's the disaster until you see the cool, suave, handsome Kase. She's as much, if not more, of a fucking disaster, and it's great.
Especially when they're on the phone and she's like, so we're gonna go on dates, right? And she gets so embarrassed she falls off her bed.
Oh, she's like, oh god, oh shit, this is happening. And yeah, no, I think David does an exceptional job bringing a lot of different emotions out of the core cast. And I think the actual cast he got, not a lot of... These 3 people are not regulars as far as the Houston voiceover area. And I think that's really interesting because he had certain voices and actresses in mind when it came to this project. And he's like, I want you here. And he got them. And he made some real good magic with them, I feel. And I'm personally ready to start talking about them. But all I can say is yes. David and Marissa, you did a damn good job making this morning glory shine in the sunlight.
I think when you were talking about how the script didn't have any, like, knockout one-liners, it didn't need it. Like, honestly, you know me.
I don't think, yeah.
And I'm not a fan of slice-of-life anime. I am a fan of romance anime. And I'm not going to front. Y'all know I like the stupid, cheesy pickup lines. I don't think this anime needed it. Like, it's so...
no, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't need to be over the top. It didn't need to have, like... It just needed to be, like, authentic.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want it to sound like that was a negative
No,
of me
I was
saying
just agreeing
there wasn't a lot
with
of flashy
you.
lines. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it just was... It seemed very authentic.
Yeah, no. I think the dialogue is very, like, genuine and poignant when it really needs to be, and I think that's what it needed to be.
It's very fluffy.
Oh, boy, is it fluffy.
Fua.
It's very... It's fluffy in regards to those cakes, in regards to those flowers, in regards to that freaking bed of theirs, where that bed was, like, 5 seconds away from seeing some major action.
And they floated on the bed for a minute.
Also, those are the fluffiest goddamn clouds I've seen in an anime in a while.
Mofu. Fua.
Anyways, yes, I believe I am now ready to move away from the directors to the ladies being directed. First, I don't know where I was going with that. Fuck. Okay. First, let's talk about the seemingly... I was going to say the straight one, but honestly, it's hard to say with this girl. She could go anyway. She could be into nothing. She could be into everything. Who knows? Let's talk about Mikawa. Mikawa is Yamada's close friend and classmate that she met in high school. And her role throughout the series in both the manga and in the OVA is that she is basically the supportive bestie. She's a little bit of a goof sometimes. Sometimes she's a little eccentric, but as it kind of shows, she's really there just to make sure her friend's doing okay. She's a little more intuitive than you think she is, but she's really kind, she's sweet, and she's totally cool with 2 girls getting it on. Good for you, Mikawa. More girls should be like you. Also, she's pretty cute with the glasses, not gonna lie. So
This is not a dating service. This is a dub talk.
Are you kidding me? Three
What?
couples can not attest to that statement.
all I'm gonna say is, you know what? Fair enough. Which, by the way, I'm gonna text her, see how she's doing. She's been having a sore stomach lately.
I know, poor Steffi.
Feel better, sweetie.
Meanwhile,
Anyways,
I present angry gay noises from Zenith.
you can do it, girl. I believe in you. Anyways, so we should actually talk about Mikawa and who plays her. I wanted to mention that this is a sort of not Houston-based cast in particular, but this is the most interesting one, I think, because this is her first Sentai Filmworks production, as far as I'm aware.
Is it really?
I believe it was, yes. Mikawa is played by one Afia Yu. Afia Yu, you might know her from such anime at playing characters like Tamako Arai from Barakamon, Ryo Nakamura from Assassination Classroom, Yo Watanabe from Love Live Sunshine, Yuzuki Kuribayashi from Selector Infected Wecross, and Victorique Deblas from Gozik. So, Gigi, the floor is yours.
Oh boy. I'm going to do a tap dance. Just kidding. I won't put you through that. Although I did take tap for 6 years. There's your weird fact of the podcast.
I honestly, for weird Gigi facts, I expected something a little more spicier. That was like a 4.
I took ballet for 3.
I see what you did there.
So the very first line out of Mikawa's mouth, I didn't recognize Afia Yu, which is weird for me because usually I can pick out Afia Yu from anywhere. So at first I was like, who is this? And then second line of dialogue, I was like, oh, I know who this is. Okay. Please keep in mind, I don't normally watch a lot of dubs that Afia Yu is in. But from the ones that I have seen, this voice sounded more animated than I'm used to. But it still had a bit of that spunky, kind of snarky kind of thing that I am used to from her performances. I thought it was really good. I was feeling it. Like seemed very supportive of Yamada, and I was like, this is a good BFF. This is how all BFFs should be, helping their friends take selfies in front of weird monuments and picking out souvenirs and stuff. And I was like, this is really good. I was very happy and pleased with it in the fua mofu mofu-ness of the Kase-san in the Morning Glories.
She is totally the type of bestie that would totally like light something on fire in case somebody made her bestie sad or cry.
Exactly.
It's basically, oh, you made my girl cry? Okay, time for bitches to die tonight.
Yeah, but no, this is the fua anime. There's no bitches dying in this. Everything is nice and fluffy and good. Get your halo on, Andrew. I know you gotta polish it and make sure it's straight and stuff, but geez.
Look, I know this series. I'm not going to make it straight and stuff. The author doesn't want to make it straight.
God damn
the author
it!
doesn't even Look,
There is no
Gigi.
straight involved in this entire show. I'm not straight. I literally cannot walk in a straight line to save my life. So,
it's literally, this series is so gay. The author literally does not want to draw men. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. The anime changes it a little where you really never actually see any guys' faces, but when guys are drawn in the manga, they have what I can only describe as weird emoji faces.
Speaking of boys in this anime, David Wald plays the pilot who's flying the plane. You're welcome.
So what you're saying is David Wald is taking them to the Mile High Club.
and as we all know, Chris Weekamp is the plane.
I don't even get that one.
It's funny though.
Anyways, Afia Yu, so you liked her, right?
Yes.
I'm glad. Zenith, what'd you think?
I highly enjoyed the performance. I think it was very energetic. I loved the inflection, But I think what I liked the most about it was the subtlety, especially because she's supposed to know a lot more than she's letting on, and that really came through in the performance. Especially during the lunch scene bit and when she's watching her, and just the inflections really sold it.
She also felt really bad about drinking most of the juice. She's like, damn it, I almost had a poignant moment, and now I'm out of juice.
The comedic timing on her was very nice, I have to admit.
Ugh. I think, like, the genuinely, like, funniest thing in this OVA is just the fact that she is not having this plane at all. She is dying. She's gonna be sick. She's gonna throw up. She is gloomy as all can be. And then Yamada takes a picture, and she's all, like, cheery tee Instagram mode.
I love that. Like that scene was priceless, especially when like she tries to take a candid of the two lovebirds, and then ends up being super super cute, and then she goes right back to drinking her pineapple juice and being like, "I'm alive again."
Also, as some manga information I have, Instagram is real in this series. It's called Anstagram.
Let me load up my BS4.
I know this because one of the color pages for Volume 5 is straight up Kase's Instagram page. She gets very antsy throughout the series, if you know what I mean.
Sounds like me.
And then then you have your PlayStation pasta.
It wouldn't be PlayStation. It would be Slayplation.
The Slayplation pasta.
Slay Queens.
Slayplation Q.
Oh my god. Andrew, what did you think about Afia Yu?
You know what? Fair. I thought she was really, really good. Afia has a very distinct voice when you get to hear her do stuff. She can do a lot of different types of characters. She could play a lot of deadpans. She could play a lot of bubbly buddies. She could play a lot of brats. She could play a lot of cutie pies. Mikawa is kind of like a bubbly cutie pie dork. That is the only way I can describe her. Like, I love her delivery of, like, when she's like, yeah, I'm so freaking hyped. And then she's on a plane and she's just dying. Like, everything sucks. She's going to die. She is miserable. And then she's like, all Instagram mode is like, oh god, why'd you take my picture? Oh my gosh, you're such a girl. But then, the reason, like, you see, she can be kind of goofy sometimes. But you also see that she's goofy because she really she sees her friends really down. She's down in the dumps because she's trying to give her girlfriend some lunch, and her girlfriend's too hot and tracks all the other girls. So she's, like, fearing that she's insecure and not good enough, and that people will deserve to be with her more than her. And Mikawa's just trying to cheer her up and get her mind off of it. And she sees that, like, yeah, you're really happy because of her. You're really happy being with her. It's a strange thing to have. I don't know if I'm ever going to feel like that emotional connection to anybody, but I see she makes you happy. And I'm happy for you, and I think you're going to be okay. And it's like, that's a really, like, poignant, touching scene. And I think Afia does a great job with the delivery on that. She's, like, really funny and kooky, but she's sincere. And I think that's what makes Mikawa a very interesting and very good friend to Yamada Yui. And she's just, yeah. Afia's first gig at Sentai. It's a very good one. I think she made a very good impression. It is not her last one, though, because she actually pops up in Food Wars: The Third Plate, believe it or not.
It's like the complete opposite from this series.
Oh, I know which character she plays, too, and I saw that, and I had a little chuckle. I'm like, oh boy, Food Wars is a series. Food Wars is a series.
Food Wars is an experience.
All I'm going to say is, if you're a fan of the Food Wars anime and you want to watch season 5, you don't have to. You could very easily ignore season 5 and be content with your life. That's my own personal rant. Anyways, Ave Yu's Mikawa was great, and I enjoyed her. So, we're here to talk about some precious, adorable disaster lesbians. Of the two,
You rang?
No, Zenith, we're talking with you, not about you.
But I am all disaster lesbian.
Okay, let's review Zenith's voice.
What?
It's very good. She's doing a great job. I'm very proud of her, and I wish her best of luck in her future prospects.
Inhuman anime girl noises. 10 out of 10.
Hashtag I'm single.
She's single, ladies and gent. But you know who isn't single? Who's anything but single? Tomoka Kase, aka the titular Kase-san of the series.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. She is a star track and field athlete. She's sporty, she's muscular, she's tan, she's got a bob cut, she's handsome. Every girl wants to be her or be with her.
Or both.
But she's got her sights set on a really cute horticulture girl that she hopes someday will look up
Wait,
and
did
see
you say
her.
horny culture girl?
No, it's literally called horticulture.
Horticulture.
Horticulture, not horty.
Is that how you say it? Okay.
Yes, horticulture.
Yeah.
Horticulture. That makes a lot more
my
sense because the
God.
way
Welcome to horny culture, everybody.
You can't make
This
fun of me for not
fucking-
knowing what NTR is anymore after this.
Look, I knew what horticulture was, I just didn't know how to say it. And yes, you know what? Tomoka Kase is goddamn horny culture. Let's talk about her.
I love her.
Cause she's hot, she's handsome, she's got a goddamn adorable girlfriend, and she's an adorable muscular disaster who can rock it any day. Let's talk about who plays her. Gigi, would you like to talk about who plays her?
It's Morgan Berry. I love her.
Morgan Berry is playing Kase-san in Kase-san and Morning Glories. You might know Morgan Berry for such characters as Yoshiko Tsushima, aka Yohane the Fallen Angel from Love Live Sunshine, Charlie from One Piece, Rindo Kobayashi from Food Wars The Third Plate, Weiss Winter Prison from Magical Girl Racing Project, and Tokaku Azuma from Riddle Story of Devil.
My heart, it beats only for Morgan Berry.
I get the feeling that you're a fan of this
I
actress, Gigi.
love her. She is great in everything that she does. Ugh, she's so good. Oof. Yeah, if y'all haven't listened to Dub Talk in a hot minute or ever, I love Morgan Berry. She's fantastic in everything. Do you want me to talk about my gush fest that I have right now?
Gigi, I need to not say what I was going to
I
say.
know exactly what you're going to say, so I'm just going to keep talking so that you don't. So
Yes, please and thank you. You're catching on to me. You're catching on to me.
I mean, we haven't seen each other in 9 months, so
it's been a while. I miss you, girl.
it's been a hot minute. I miss you, boo.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
So Morgan Berry as Kase, perfect casting. Y'all, I love Morgan Berry in absolutely anything that she does. And this is one of her best. Oh my God, I can't get over how authentic and how just I wanted to love Kase because Kase is the type that I go for. But when I heard Morgan Berry's voice come out of her mouth, I was like, oh my God, I love her even more. This is amazing. She plays her so smitten with Yamada. It's so adorable because Kase's kind of a tomboy, so she gets like the tomboy attitude down, but then when she's with Yamada, it like totally flips, and she's like this silly little schoolgirl in complete and utter love, and it just, oh god, it makes me so happy. I was like smiling the whole way through it. She plays Kase a little bit girlier than her type, which is great because she kind of is. Like, she can't be a tomboy all the time. Like, she's going through a first love just as much as Yamada, you know, little sugar Yamada is, and she's experiencing the same emotions and the same fears and the same mistakes and doki doki feels, and you can hear it in the voice, and it just, oh, it's friggin' perfect. Like, I fall in love with Kase. Oh my god. Like, everyone falls in love with Kase. It's when you play a character like that, just like Haruka in Sailor Moon, Sailor Uranus, like, you have to put the charisma in your voice so that absolutely everybody falls in love with you. And I think she does a perfect job doing that in this anime.
You gotta work hard to keep the bravado act and walk the walk like you are the hottest person in the room and everybody knows
But it has to be effortless, though. Like, you can't be cocky about it. You're just like, hey, I'm here.
No,
and then everybody loves
that's totally the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Kase, is that she's not really arrogant. She's just kind of like a sweetheart who's just doing her best and giving her 110%. The facade just kind of breaks when she finds somebody. She's like, oh no, dang, she cute.
Now I am a puddle of goo.
Oh no,
what do I do?
She's hot.
Where? Inhuman anime girl noises. I'm done now. I'm gonna go drink some water because I'm feeling slightly thirsty. Zenith, why don't you talk about the lovely Kase, please?
Well, I'm also thirsty, but, you know, not in that way.
Kind of thirst,
in a different kind of thirsty. But
pretty sure it's the same kind of thirsty.
I have nothing bad to say about this casting choice. I think this was perfect. Granted, this is my second favorite casting choice, and we'll get to the first in a minute. But I think the thing I like about it is her range. Her vocal range is wonderful because you do get the tomboyishness, especially when she's off training and when she hits herself on the bed, but you also get a lot of the girlish squee and feminine aspects. But the thing that really sold me on her was when she was on the roof with her love, and she was basically, she was trying to say to her love that I'm not the awesome one, you are. And she's just like, I've been watching you up on this roof for years now. I'm kind of like a stalker. And she manages to sell it and just make her girlfriend feel so much better. It's like, I've been watching you, not the other way around. You're the awesome one. You're dedicated. You're so damn cute. And it's true. And I love the inflection that she gives to these lines, especially when she's about to leave and she's like, you know what? You keep saying that I'm the awesome one, but you are. You're the awesome one. And it's just, I love the way she does it.
So, I'll say some of my opinions are... How would I actually begin with discussing my discussion of Morgan Berry as Tomoka Kase? Well, since this has been recorded well after the fact that the 2019 W the W Awards were recorded, I can confirm and say that Morgan Berry as Kase straight up won my Best Female Actress in a Drama award.
Yay!
It was actually... So I really, really liked this performance. It was also really close, too. Like, real close second to that was Amber Lee Connors in Kono Oto Tomare, which, by the way, if y'all are sleeping on Kono Oto Tomare, stop sleeping on it. It's really fucking good. But I gave it to Morgan because this movie is an hour long. And she conveyed a lot in Kase. She conveyed the sort of effortlessness, like hottest person in the room that Gigi was talking about. She conveys the cool tomboy kid, but also the dorky disaster lesbian, the suave, sexy, kind of aroused like girl that's trying to make a move, the flustered dorky person, and also the strongly insecure, fearful, everything's going to fall apart. Because when I first watched the dub of this, the scene that originally impressed me the most was, as you were saying, when she's watching her on the rooftop and she's talking about how I was always looking down at you, the girl tending to the garden, always thinking how wonderful you were, wondering when you were going to look behind and see that I was here the whole time, and you can see that okay, no, that's not correction. I shouldn't be using Taylor Swift for this one.
Ew.
No, here's the song I should be using. She was a girl, they're gonna make out because they're lesbians.
There you go.
There we go.
Much better reference.
She said she's a gardener. She said, I'll see you later, girl.
Anyway, something like that. But no. Anyways, no. Like, the scene on the rooftop was one I really liked a lot. As well as, like, when she's talking about, like, her her track meet on the plane. But the one that really got me watching it this time around was, there's a scene where basically, as we were talking about earlier, they're in a bathhouse, and she changes, and she gets naked in front of Yamada, which is basically for Kase, the sporty girl, who has basically seen every single naked teammate on her track team, and is just like, oh, cool, what up, girl? For Yamada, it's an extremely different feeling, where this is somebody she has a emotional, romantic, and potentially sexual attraction to, and she sees her body for the first time, and she's both flustered and also extremely insecure about that fact. And Yamada kind of ghosts her on text, and it's extremely awkward when they're doing their thing for the next day. And she just pulls her aside away from the trip to basically go to a beach, and just basically she's scared, and like, I think I see exactly where this is going. You're breaking up with me right now. That's exactly what's happening. It's like, the idea of you can be friends with somebody, but once you see them in their entirety, if they don't look the way you want them to, they can become distance. And she's basically afraid. She says that, and she's like, that's what's gonna happen. You've seen all of me. You've seen what I am. You don't like what you see. And this isn't gonna work. And I'm ready, and I'm terrified. And then Yamada starts crying, and it's just like, no, I saw you. You look so hot, and I'm nothing, and insecure, and it's embarrassing, and I don't think I'm good enough for you, and I didn't know how to talk to you. And you just see Kase just basically fall over. Her heart basically finally starts beating again. She finally gets to breathe. It's like, oh, thank goodness. And that stuck out to me because, as somebody who has had a relationship now, I know those moments where it's like, you think you did the wrong thing. You said the wrong thing. You toppled the right domino in just a way that everything's going to fall apart, and they don't want you anymore. And this isn't going to work out anymore. And you start fearing and pleading, praying that please don't do this. And then it's like, oh wait, no, actually, it's fine. I love you anyways. I was embarrassed and didn't know how to say it myself. And then you just have that biggest sigh and breath in the world. It's just like, oh my god. Oh god, thank god. And I've been there. And that's why I think
I know Kase, you've been there.
Keep this scene in mind for later, because I'm gonna have stuff to talk about with it. But yeah, like, Morgan has this great, like, emotional depth to it. And also, according to an interview from the Mary Sue,
a extreme emotional connection and relation. As somebody who was a bit of a gender fluid tomboy herself, she connected a lot to Kase as well as some past relationships. Said there was a lot of tears in the booth in particular when recording certain things, and was extremely fond of the end of the OVA where they're on the train together and they're kind of like coming to terms with what they really want to be together in the end, and it's touching and emotional. And yeah, it's just, Morgan really is a perfect fit. If this was in fact David's number one choice, I could see why it was the perfect choice.
So smart.
For this, the perfect choice for this character. I think it was fantastic. It's funny, it's emotional, it's touching, it's dorky, it's hot, it's everything and the kitchen sink. Congratulations, Morgan Berry. You did great with this morning sun. You did great making this. Wait, no. Wait. I can make this work. Hang on. Congratulations, Morgan Berry. You really stuck by her with your sunflower.
All right. Anyway, can we talk about my sweet, pure, innocent cinnamon
No,
roll?
I was trying to do a thing because she's like a sunflower, and the song that Post Malone does in Spider-Verse. I did a reference.
Oh no, but nobody got it.
Everybody got it. You just haven't seen Good Movie, damn it.
Let me talk about my sweet, pure cinnamon roll.
I will say before we move on that, Andrew, yes, if I would have watched Kase-san and the Morning Glories before the Dubby deadline, Morgan Berry would have won my Dubby for Best Actress in a Drama.
Alrighty. So, yes, we really like her. And yes, Zenith, it is time.
Cinnamon roll.
Let's talk about Kase's better half, the precious, adorable little flower girl herself, Yui Yamada. She is basically the head of... Oh my god, wow.
Ryamu, help me, please.
Zenith, I'm starting to get the impression that you're a big fan of this character. Would you like to tell us about her?
This is my favorite goddamn character in the show. And someone that I relate to a lot because... Here's the thing. She's sweet, she's naive, she's innocent, she's pure, but she has all these insecurities that you don't initially see at first, but they come to the surface. And as the show continues, you see, like, you know, little sprouts come from her hair as symbolism.
It's like it's a little visual gag that's pretty relevant, and I really like it.
About how she's just like, she's someone who's ready to bloom. And, like, her naivete when she thought, like, she just... Her girlfriend just wanted to kiss her instead of pin her to the bed. Like, there's so many good scenes. And when she's holding the phone and, like, giddy on the bed, I'm just like, oh, you go, girl. But, you know, her insecurities is what really defines her, too. Because she's very, very positive, but she's positive because she feels insecure. Especially to Kase. And it's
I think the third act really, really shows a lot of her character, and I think the anime and the way the anime does that part of the story really accentuates both her mood and the tone of it, because there's a lot of like very dimly lit shots, and I adore that like sort of crazy dream sequence where she's having a conversation in her head with Mikawa. The idea that like she's drowning and she can't reach her and she's moved on with somebody better.
And when she's crying, I'm like, no, come here, baby. I'm gonna hug you. It's gonna be okay.
Come here, baby. Mama gonna make it all better. Mama's in it.
My precious cinnamon roll needs to be protected. You go get your Kase.
She needs to plant the seeds and make it bloom into something beautiful.
You need a timeout for that one.
Wait, what?
You need a timeout for that pun.
Oh, for the pun. I thought you thought I was making a dirty joke. I'm like, no, I was doing a plant thing because she's a plant girl. And flowers, seeds, bloom.
At least you didn't say she was baby nut, because then I would hurt you.
No! Zenith, how fucking dare you? I thought we were friends. I am better. I am so much better than that. To resort to making references to a goddamn shitty corporate fucking forced meme thing that's stupid and weird and try-hardy and creepy, and everybody's like, oh, this is finally going to beat Baby Yoda. No, I'd break that fucking thing and feed it to Yoda, god fucking damn it. That thing sucks. Wow, that was a...
Anyway, my precious Cinnamon Roll is wonderful, and I want to talk about her voice actress.
Who plays her?
I had a much more deep-seated hatred for Baby Nut than I thought. Anyways.
Oh my god, get the fuck out with your fucking nut puns.
Anyways, so you need Yamada is a very interesting character, and you need a very well-trained gardener to really make her sprout into her own. So, who did Mr. Wald put in charge of the gardening committee for Kase-san and Morning Glories, Yui Yamada? That is none other than the adorable, precious Bryn April.
And on that note, she is my choice, even though I missed the 2019 dubbies because I was dying. She is my choice for the best female performance of 2019. I know that Kase with Morgan Berry did a fantastic job, but I love this. This is a complex character that's very hard to pull off.
Zen?
Yes?
I'll get to that in a second. I will let you speak first, but first I would like to introduce Bryn's line of work first.
Okay, man.
I'll give it to you in a second, believe me. I just wanted to properly finish the introduction. So Bryn April has played such characters in the past like Nasuko Aki from Cutie Honey Universe, Himiko oh god damn it, how do I say this right? Himiko Momokino from Citrus. Gigi, if you need a reminder, she's the twin-tailed lesbian.
I don't think I got that far.
Did you? Anyways. She was on, like, the student council with her.
Oh, I did. Okay, never mind.
Sugumi Haradori from Soul Eater Not. Nene Sakura from New Game. And her most famous totally lesbian character, Crystal Lens, a.k.a. Historia Rice from Attack on Titan. They're lesbians, Isayama. I will hear none of it.
Don't spoil it. I haven't finished it yet.
What's a Titan? I don't understand. Anyway,
don't worry about it.
Anyway, my precious
Zenith, the floor is yours.
Okay. I love how well she does this performance simply because it's a complex character. It's hard showing a character who's as bubbly and pure and innocent as she is, while also showing the hints of her insecurities and then diving deep into them without making her seem like she's always wallowing in her self-despair. She did a fantastic job, and the scene that really sells it is the scene that you talked about with Kase, but on her end, when she sees her changing, and she goes through all these different emotions, but then later she tries to answer the text, but she can't, and she can't sleep, and the way it's conveyed via the actress is just really well done. And then the confession that I just didn't feel like I was good enough for you. All her insecurities spill out in that one moment. And I legit cried. I cried for this show so many times for this performance. And I think she deserves special attention because she's still keeping the same voice, the same vocal tone, but she has such nuance and subtlety behind it. And, when she realizes, oh, this garden is empty because Kase's not here and she's running towards her lesbian love, she sells every goddamn second, and I love it.
Do you think she bought a ticket Do you think she bought a ticket for that, or she just like literally like ran past like the ticket booth? It's like, too late. Need to do it for love. Bye.
Lesbians don't need a ticket to ride. Don't you know this?
Oh.
Wait.
They don't need a ticket to ride. They just go ahead and strap on in there.
They just go ahead and pin each other to the bed. They just pin each other to the bed. And here's another thing that I just adore about this entire thing is her reaction when she was pinned down to the bed. And, like, all she's thinking about is, like, oh, my God, she smells really nice. Like, her naivete and her innocence and just the way she views everything. But the fact that she's just falling even further in love with this girl. And, again, it's conveyed brilliantly. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, okay. There's so many.
She's too pure for this world.
Oh, God. Thank you, Zenith. So you really like Bryn, is what I'm getting.
No, what gave you that idea?
I don't know. I had a hunch.
You had the kernel of an idea?
I swear to God, if you're bringing this back to Baby Nut, I'm gonna turn this whole fucking thing around. I'm going to throw an entire thing of fucking peanuts at you, and I will say, shame the nut slut.
Kernel's popcorn, you idiot.
Kernels don't have anything to do with peanuts.
You go to the corner.
I'm very embarrassed.
You leave this in. You leave all of this into the edit.
No, I gotta edit some of it out.
You know what? Fair. Fine. I'm sorry that I called you a nut slut, Zen. That was very inappropriate.
Nuts are just no. I'm all about the girls.
You're all about the lemongrass and the morning glories and the taste and smell of cherry blossoms. Gigi, I'm sorry. please talk about Yamada.
I don't know where I am anymore. Christ. Oh, God. Okay. I was going to make a joke, and then I just lost it, because this is my life. So, Bryn April playing Yamada. Okay, this is what I wrote. Oh, my God, could she get any cuter? Y'all know Bryn April is like queen of the cute girl voices. Anyone who has seen I can't even talk. Anyone who has seen First Love Monster, which is basically me, Noah, and Megan, can tell you she like was the cutest girl ever in that show. She can do no wrong when it comes to innocent girl voices, and here is no exception. Yamada was all sweetness and light and innocence, and she's in love, she's giddy, she's so happy. The performance just makes me smile. Like, I don't think I've stopped smiling other than to yell at Andrew throughout this whole podcast because we're talking about this anime. But
I kind of deserve it too, and honestly, I'm smiling at getting yelled at and embarrassed. It's great.
Oh God,
This entire podcast is just me squeeing over the show. So
it's very cute. I do agree. Like, one of her best parts that she had was what everybody said already, and then on the train, and then when she's on the bed. And I just can't get over the fact that she's like about to make out with Kase, and she's thinking about lemongrass, and I'm just like, oh, that's a Yamada thing to say.
It's literally like Kase is basically about to like rip things off at this point, and she's like, damn, what the fuck that smell though? I can't get off until I know.
Well, she's a horticulturist. That's why. I just made that.
No, she's a horny culturist.
Kase was gonna introduce her to the horny culture club, if you know what I'm saying.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry?
I want to know.
Neither of you will get that reference.
Yes, I want to make you cry because she has a whole over 100+ roles, and the first thing you think of is First Love Monster.
It's my favorite. Why you gotta be like that?
I just want to know what happened the second time they were in that room. because I want to know if they used the lemongrass.
I really loved Bryn April here. Honestly, anytime she plays a cute girl, she can do no wrong. And this was no exception. And this cute girl had a lot of depth, and she had a lot of cuteness and sweetness and light and a lot of cute inhuman anime girl noises and little sprouts coming out of her head. Yep. I'm done.
Thank you, Zen. All right. Thank you. Bryn April. Bryn April she can play adorable, precious little cinnamon beans, and holy fucking shit, Yamada is a precious, adorable Cinnabean. But she's also very interesting. She's very complex. She's got those insecurities, those doubts, those things that she's not good enough. She could be a squealing, adorkable, love-struck fool. She can doubt herself. She could be doubtful, fearful, think she's not good enough. She could cry. She could be sad. She could be upset. She puts others before herself. Bryn April is an extremely capable actress. Like, she can do cute, but she can also do really good drama, comedy, and just really sell you on a certain character's charms and, like, specific traits. Like, I've seen characters where she is the sweetest thing ever. I have seen characters where their whole deal is, I am secretly capable of stabbing you, and I will make you know I can stab somebody. I have seen adorable little trolls, because literally my favorite Bryn role is Hikari from Interviews with Monster Girl. She is straight up my child, and I love her, and I will guard her with my life. Followed secondly by Nene Sakura from New Game, which, by the way, Zed, I can now tell you to watch the dub. It's finally on Crunchyroll again.
I need to watch New Game, especially because lesbians and girls not wearing pants, which is it's all good. It's all good.
I was gonna say, I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I was like, it's a relatively PG-13, all considered.
They don't wear pants, and I'm happy with that. That's all
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Anyways, I'm getting off track. No, Bryn's fantastic as Yui Yamada. I also just love some of her delivery sometimes when she's basically like realizes Kase's in a room and she starts just getting giddy and like holding herself. Oh shit, this is happening. My girl's over. This is great. It's awesome. And then also when she gets like scared by Mikawa and she's kind of busting her chops, she's like, you scared me, thanks. And she's also just getting very emotional. I think also my favorite like goofy delivery of hers is after like her head, she sees Kase like naked, and her head's just getting all flustered and hot. She's like, I think I'll take my bath in the room. It's just all floaty and like, oh god. No, but she really sells it in the third act of this, where she is having those doubts, those dreams of fear that she is going to leave, that she's like settling for being local while Kase wants to dream of Tokyo, and she's thinking, God, what would happen if we separated? I don't want to be separated from her because my garden is empty. My garden is so very barren without the woman I love. And you see her like charge for her, put herself, you see the true sides of her, what she really wants, what she really can do. Because she's a little naive, but she's not stupid. She just doesn't know what to do for the people she cares for and what she will herself do. And when she takes initiative and runs to her, and they have that touching scene at the end where they're talking about the hidden meaning of what Morning Glories can stand for, and how it's an everlasting love. And it's just, God, Bryn is so goddamn good as Yui Yamada. It's great. And you know what else is great? Kase-san and Morning Glories and this dub. Let's talk about it in our final thoughts. GG.
Well, y'all heard me talk about Love Stage Until the Cows Came Home, which is a very comparable anime to Kase-san and Morning Glories. Like I said with Love Stage, I believe that Kase-san and Morning Glories is also a labor of love for everyone involved in the English dubbing production and cast. You could tell just by the tones of the voices, the way that the words were carefully chosen in the script, and the way that our good buddy DW directed all of his actresses. I really loved everything about it. I can't say one negative thing about it, which is a treat because usually I'm the one who always says negative things about everything because, you know, that's who I am. But no, this was pure and sweet and a treasure. I think you should all go watch it on High Dive. If you have a High Dive subscription, you can watch it for free. Or you can also buy it, which I will be doing as soon as Sentai has another sale. So
it's goddamn cheap, whatever price it is.
it was like $15 the last time I saw it on sale. And I was like, I didn't know how long it was at that time. Like, I thought it was a little bit longer than an hour. And I was like, okay, like $15 is a good price for it. And then I'm like, okay. Then it went up back to like 30 again. And I was like, this is me shopping, guys. I mean, but like I paid $60 for the first print run of Love Stage, so I can't say anything. I'm gonna buy it.
When I actually have income, it's a long story we're not going to get into here, but when I actually have income, I will buy it. I promise, and I will review it on my show, along with Bloom Into You. This show is wonderful. This show is something that I knew I was going to love the moment I laid eyes on it. I was doing Slate Live tweeting in the chat, and I was like, oh my god, they're disaster lesbians. I love this.
I knew as soon as like I was getting a group for this, I knew you had to do something with this.
Well, thank you for getting me, even though I've been I have been in limbo for a while. I'm sorry. But things are getting better on my end, hopefully, knock on wood. Yeah, that's wood, I hope. Anyway.
That's wood, I hope, is a very, very ominous statement, not gonna lie.
I'll take one for the team. I'll tell you if it's wood or not, guys.
Thanks, Gigi. Please let us know how hard that wood is.
As your token straight. Wait, I forgot Andrew's straight, too.
As your token lesbian, I love this show. I think it's wonderful. As much as I love Bloom Into You, I love this, and there's different qualities that Bloom Into You has. But I think what this does is more the innocence of love as it's first starting, and it is so damn good. The dub is wonderful. Go watch it. Go. What are you doing listening to this podcast? Go watch it.
No. Tell them to finish watching it if they're this far, at least. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Anyways, for my final thoughts, Kase-san is a Yuri series I'm a huge fan of in terms of the manga. I'd really wanted to see this anime. I got to see it, and then I was sad that it was never getting a dub because Pony Canyon USA was still a thing at that point. And now they basically have gone back to what they were originally and sub-licensing things to other companies. So Kase-san got an English dub. I was happy as can be, and I am extremely satisfied with the final product. I think Afia was great, but the true stars of both Morgan Berry and Bryn April in this dub, alongside the work of the wonderful David Wald. No, I will not call him DW because I just think back to Arthur, and I can't see David Wald voicing Arthur's sister.
What about Darkwing Duck?
Let's get dangerous. David Wald.
Yeah, DW.
Let's get dangerous.
Yeah. When there's trouble, you call DW. He's our rainbow overlord, Mr. Captain Hardpants, and the Dilf Whisperer himself.
His pants were very hard during this dub.
Okay, Gigi, you did amazing with that. Zenith, that was terrible. You should feel bad. Go sit in the corner now.
Everyone gets one.
Everybody gets one. And I will say, this is a wonderful show. It is... Everything about the anime production of this is a true passion of love, and I can tell the people they got together to work on this really did put their all into the production. There's some really articulate points of, like, character animation. Like, the gif of her freaking out on the bed is adorable, and there's so much character put into that. There's wonderful shot compositions of the flowers and the colors and the imagery, the direction. It's very impeccably passionate. I would also say that this is if you like this story and you want to see more of the characters, I will also fully recommend the official manga release to you as well, courtesy of Seven Seas Entertainment. The original Kase-san series has like 5 volumes in particular. The first one, of course, is called Kase-san and Morning Glories, followed by Kase-san and Bento, Kase-san and Shortcake, Kase-san and Apron, and Kase-san and Cherry Blossoms. So the initial series of the manga, there's a lot of different short stories, chapters about these two, before they get together, after they get together, and basically all the way up until them getting into college. And literally just released this month, Kase-san and Yamada is about them in college. So, if you want to see more of these two precious disaster lesbians and would like to read their adventures and support the official release, you can read it from Seven Seas Entertainment. But if you would like to watch the anime and support the official release of the anime, it is now streaming over on High Dive. It is very cheap and reasonable to do and watch things on High Dive, or you could go buy the Blu-ray, which, as we've talked about before, for what you're getting is stupid cheap usually. And especially if you get a good Sentai sale, this thing could be like way under $20. And getting this for less than $20 is frankly kind of a steal at that point. So, look, legitimately, this shit's relatively cheap as far as Blu-ray releases go. It's worth your time. It's worth your money. You can also check out the original music video, actually, that is kind of like the origin to this anime production project. Just look up Kase-san music video on YouTube. It's like 5 or 6 minutes. You should be able to find it relatively easy. And with that, those are the places to support the official release of Kase-san and Morning Glories. Go watch it. It's very good. I like it a lot. And while we're giving props, I'd like to give props to our lovely Dub Talk patrons, including, but not limited to, Crimson Echidna, Michelle Travis, Miraculous Corazon, Nico Robin but with yaoi hands, Carly Lesticow, J2 aka Jared, Marissa Lenti, we might have talked about her tonight, Weeby, and the person to thank for tonight's patron pick episode, Jacob Wilson. Thank you very much, buddy. It was a pleasure getting to talk about this show in particular.
Thank you, boo.
If you would like to follow us, we are the Dub Talk Podcast. You can find us over on YouTube at Dub Talk Podcast, or you can now listen to us on the go in audio form as we have an RSS feed over on Podbean. If you'd like to follow our social account, we most often post on the Dub Talk Podcast Twitter. We also now have a Patreon if you would like to support us, get some little behind the scenes early previews of things, some news updates and all that, or a Ko-fi if you would like to just give us a little bit of a tip and all that. Now, as for you lovely people, where can everybody on the internet go find you?
My name is Gigi. You can find me over at YouTube and Twitter at AnimePalooza, where I do unboxings. I'm back now, I know, and talk about Utapri Shining Live. I also have 2 of my own podcasts called the Shoujo Trash Showdown and the Anime R&R Podcast. Both should be making their triumphant return in March. And yeah, come stalk me. We'll talk about boys and David Wald and Marissa Lenti and Morgan Berry, and we can jump up and down and make Ryamu noises together. It'll be great. If you don't know who Ryamu is,
okay, now that sounds a little too 18 plus now.
What?
About jumping up and down and making. You said jumping up and down and making noises.
Ryamu noises. Where? It's a Ryamu. You don't know who Ryamu is. It's fine. Ryamu is that girl.
One? Is that one pink-haired girl with like the skull shirt?
Yes. I
actually know exactly what sound you're talking about. Blech.
I love her.
Blech.
Angry gay noises.
Speaking of angry gay noises, Zenith, where can the people find you?
That's good.
Oh, what a wonderful transition. Hi, I'm Zenith Warrior Princess. You can find me on YouTube. I have 2 channels, Zenith Warrior Gaming and Zenith Warrior Princess. Zenith Warrior Princess is home to the Bun Squad, where all my legions of cute, fluffy bunnies come out and interact with my videos. I am currently just finished an episode on the first episode of Doctor Who. Go check it out. Although there's probably a lot more on there when this episode releases. Anyway, or you can follow me on Twitter at Zenith Will Rule, and I have a Patreon at Zenith Will Review. Yeah, go check all the things. Do it. Just do it.
Quick question: how do you spell review?
Review.
I need to ask that because of Lilac Anime Review being REVUE.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
So I do a lot of different things. The Bun Squad has anime, movies, video games, tokusatsu, One Piece. History of One Piece is finally back. There's a lot of stuff, so go check it out.
Awesome. As for me, my name is... I realize I've not actually introduced myself, actually. My name is Andrew, a.k.a. Classy Spartan. That's who I am, in case you're wondering who this guy that's been talking about his hatred for Baby Nut at some point was. That's who I am. My name's Andrew, a.k.a. Classy Spartan. You can find me over on Twitter at MangaMan9000. I'm a veteran member of the Dub Talk podcast at this point, going on like 4, maybe 5 years now. It's been a while. It's been a pleasure being on this cruise with you beautiful people. As for other things I do, I am another podcast co-host on Surreal Resolutions, anime-based news podcast, Podcast O&A, alongside fellow Dub Talk podcast alumni, Jet, aka Divine Nega. At the time of this recording, we have recently done an episode of My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, where I got to talk about that movie. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. This was a ton of fun. I was a little worried going into this since it's been a while since I've hosted an episode, but I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. This was great. This was wonderful.
This was definitely a lot of fun. Let's do this again next time when I have better income and I'm not dying of mysterious asthma disease.
Let's all try our best to not die. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ.
But yes. I don't want to end on that note. Hang on.
With that being said, I'm Zenith Warrior Princess, and just remember...
Oh my god. Alright.
Can you play the hockey air horn again?
Hockey.
Just for fun. Brr, 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 brr.
Wait, I'm just gonna make the noise. Okay. Good night, everybody. Otaku on, my friends, and always make sure to tend to your garden and make sure it'll bloom into something beautiful.
Love your faces.
Like horny culture.
God
yes,
damn it.
like horny culture.
I'm cutting this out.
Fuck.